Welcome to Brain Junk. I'm Amy Barton.
And I'm Trace Kerr. I was talking to my son, and I asked him, when you go into a bathroom, there's this whole thing about urinals.
Mm-hmm.
I don't use the men's restroom.
It is a mysterious world to us.
But there is this myth that, if there's 3 urinals, I have heard that man 1 will take urinal 1, then leave a space, and then the next guy will use urinal 3. And so I was asking Anson if this was true, and he was like, absolutely, unless there's a divider in between them, because some of them there's like a little wall, and he's like, if there's a divider, it's okay, you can go anywhere you want. He said, but the real stressful thing is when you go into a smaller restroom and there's only 2 urinals. And he said, so the first guy takes 1, second guy goes to the toilet.
Yes. Yep.
I was trying to think, in a women's restroom, it does kind of seem like people will, if there's room, skip stalls to give people some space. Most women I know don't want anybody else to hear them doing anything in there. I have known women to sit on a toilet and hold it.
Yes, until the door shuts.
Either the door shuts or the automatic hand dryer comes on. And then it's like speed pee.
Heaven forbid flatulence is involved.
Oh my gosh, yes. I was once in a bathroom where a lady, it was full, and a woman down on the end ripped the biggest fart I think I've ever heard. And it was, sound of fart, dead silence. And then snicker, 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 snicker. And then we all just busted up laughing, because it was so out of the ordinary, it broke all the conventions.
Yeah, so good.
So today we're going to be telling you everything you never knew you wanted to know about social conventions. So where are we going to go first? Maybe we need to explain it a little bit.
I found a good brief description on study.com. They were talking about what is a social convention, what is a social norm. And their short version is that social conventions are agreements among people. They are often implicit or unspoken. It's not a thing that we tell each other. It's not a law. It's not something you have to do. They're unwritten expectations about how people should behave in society. For example, if we take turns speaking, we use acceptable table manners. We wait patiently in line. These are all social conventions. It's not a law, but we do them. You know that you walk down the right-hand side of a hall. They are culturally based, and members of that society are expected to behave in particular ways, or they may be ostracized from the group.
Right. I was doing research about riding elevators. And one of the things that, in America especially, we're big fans of personal space. So someone gets on an elevator and they're going to go to the back and they're going to turn around and face the door.
Yes.
Which is kind of funny when you think about it because, you're going to exit. But if you get on an elevator and you don't turn around.
Yes.
I think what's cool about social conventions is that when you break them, the reactions that people have. Because most people won't say anything to you. We were talking about that earlier. They'll just look at you. I think you almost seem dangerous, because you're not following the rules. What's wrong with you?
Yes. It's actually one of my favorite hobbies. I'm just going to tell you the reason that I love this so much and that I thought this is something we should talk about is I really enjoy music at the gym. It's what gets me through a workout on the treadmill or on the bike. And I like to hum or whistle and occasionally sing. And I have learned, and it used to be just like a little humming, a little light whistling, but I've noticed nobody will turn and look at you. Some of it could be that they're listening to headphones, but most of it is that confrontation piece is uncomfortable, and so they won't do it. So now I've kind of realized and get away with a lot. So how loudly can I whistle? And I've been a member of the Y since like 2012. Finally, this last summer, a lady turned around. Yeah, she turned around and she looked at me and I'm like, respect, lady. I was tempted to go say, hi, I think we could be friends. Good job. Yeah, she glared at me and looked long enough that I would see her looking at me. That is an aggressive gesture. So I stopped for her because I didn't want the interaction to take a turn. Yep.
To go from that strange look to a fist fight.
We were both working out. It could have been, yep.
Well, so those cross-cultural misunderstandings, you were talking about how a lot of these conventions are culture-based. So depending on what country you're in or even what community you're in, you could make all sorts of mistakes because what's normal for me might not be normal for you.
Yes. Conventions and these social norms, we can all agree that some of them are outdated, but it takes a long time to execute change.
So you had some travel thingies, right?
I do have some travel. I stumbled upon the MTA's. They have courtesy counts, and I think they have a hashtag.
MTA.
That's the Metro Transit Authority, I believe.
Oh,
but they don't have like an about us. So it's New York's Metro Transit Authority is what I gleaned from looking. They have an entire series of images that they post about appropriate behavior in the subways. So they have these terrific little, it's like the tube. They're not stick people, but they're like tube people. I'm showing Trace. They've got...
they look like the male and female figures from, say, like the bathroom figures. Yeah.
Yes. So they have a whole series, and I stumbled upon this through another site because it said that you should not be man-spreading on the subway.
Amen.
And so there's a little picture. The last picture is, and green people are acceptable behavior. There's a little red dude, and they say, "Dude, stop the spread, please." They've got this little picture of him. So the MTA has devoted time and resources to all these little pictures. Don't stand in the doorways. It's a subway car, not a dining car. So don't spread your stuff on the seat and eat your fries. They've got a really great image of a guy using the pole to do some sweet dance moves. So he's
those are some sweet.
Floor.
Yeah,
he's using all his core muscles. They've got a nice lady here. She's got her legs crossed and her things are close to her. Let people off first and take your backpack off. I have to admit I might not think of all these things because I'm not in a place where I ride public transit very often.
Yeah.
Offer your seat to others is an obvious one. Keep the sound down, please. Young people, you are not bound to this cultural convention like we older people are.
You kids making my subway car too loud.
Yeah. No clipping and primping. They are culturally, they show a couple people. One guy's got his elbows way out and his hands are strangely down in his hip area. I'm not sure what he's grooming. I will put the picture on the website so that you can chip in and tell us what you think he's grooming.
What is he
She's
doing?
clearly putting on, like, brushing her hair and stuff. We're not. You can tell us what you think he's up to.
None of that. Don't do any of that. If it involves your lap.
Right. That should be another one. Hands in the green zone, everybody.
Yeah. No squares. Not on the subway.
Please, please, please. Otherwise, you'll have a run-in and law enforcement. The travel was very interesting, though, because culturally, historically, you will see pictures of plane travel or train travel from the 50s. Everybody's suited up or wearing a button up. They're very polite and quiet and self-contained. It was a very polite traveling at that time was very, you got dressed up.
Well, because it was super, it was super unusual. It was
true.
really
It was a
expensive.
novelty.
It was very novel. So you had to, you weren't bringing your sweatpants and your bunny slippers to fly southwest to, LA. You had to step it up.
Yep. Our conventions around air travel for sure. Anywhere you have to go through security now, it's like the least cumbersome shoes and wear your best sweatpants. And those conventions have changed a little over time. Most of them I'm on board with.
Yeah, the being a little bit more casual. But then, let's talk about some American conventions that freak out the rest of the world.
I'm sure there's a lot.
Since we're traveling, I have a short list. I'm sure it's much, much longer. If you have more, go ahead and let us know.
Yeah.
So some of the things that people have mentioned are how we open carry guns. That and I have to say that I'm kind of also on this one. When you're in Fred Meyer and you're in the bulk food section and there's a guy and he's packing this giant handgun on his hip, and it's just on his hip. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
Not good, not bad. Just it's a little strange. And I can imagine if you come from a country where you don't really see. It's not like you walk into Walmart and there's guns for sale. It would be even more off-putting, maybe is not the right word, but it would definitely be shocking.
I do remember a guy at the grocery store. We were in the dairy section. We're both looking at cheese, and he had a knife tied on his thigh, and the other he had and I thought, a gun tied in a holster right by his hip. I thought, what is he expecting to happen here at Winco? I'm going to buy my cheese and get out of your way.
We're both going to go for string cheese, and he's going to win. He's getting the last package.
Yeah, he can have whichever one he wants.
Sure, yeah. Apocalypse grocery store. Ice cubes and drinks.
Is that not a thing around the world?
Not so much, yeah. Different complaints where it waters down your drink. It's too expensive. Just ew, gross.
But if you're an American and you don't get ice in your soda, it's whoa.
Yeah,
So
unless
rude.
you're Chaz. My husband Chaz is like, can I have that Coke? No ice.
Ooh, really?
Well, I think it's
Is it a mustache thing? It's clinking it. I don't know.
no for him. It's all about value. If you put ice cubes in there, you're going to get about half the liquid. And he's like, I don't really care if it's warm or cold, but if I'm going to pay $1 for that, I want $1 worth of soda.
I would like the half gallon, please, and I would like it all to be pop.
Yeah. Give me the one with the handle. Personal space needs. Okay, so the subway, you go to Japan or say places where you've got a lot of people riding buses and they're on the roof and they're all squeezed in. It's like a can of Spam and it's just people just slammed in there.
But here in America, if you touch somebody, like in Spokane versus in a big city, if you ride the bus here and you touch someone, you apologize.
Well, even in the big city, like we were in Portland not too long ago and we do a lot of the public transit. And if you're on at commute time, it's full. I mean, all the seats are full. People are standing. But even then, everybody kind of moves around like little molecules trying not to touch or bump into each other. I had one guy accidentally bump me in the back of the head because I was sitting. He hit me with like his knee or his hip. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I was like, dude, it's okay. Just, watch the knees. Yeah.
Yeah. It's much more common in other countries that touching is not weird to them. I have a space bubble.
He'd be like, back off. Turning right on red, we stop in the car.
That's cool, right?
And if you're at a four-way and you're all the way over in that right-hand lane, you can turn right.
Yeah.
A lot of places, they don't do that sort of thing where
you wait till it's green.
You wait until it's green. Or then you're in a country where nobody really, the lights are just flashing and we're just going to do whatever we want.
They're just a suggestion.
Yeah, whatever.
Guidelines.
Tipping in restaurants.
Yeah.
A lot of countries, they don't tip.
Really?
Yeah. They're like, we pay a living wage.
Oh, yeah.
Get over yourselves, Americans.
Fix it.
And then I'm going to circle back around to the restrooms. Gaps in bathroom door stalls.
Yes.
The grocery store that's near my house, okay?
Yes.
Has, I'm not kidding, one of their bathroom stalls. It must be almost 2-inch gap.
I have been to that bathroom and I'm like...
And I hate using that stall. I've been forced to use it because the other two are full. Yeah. I mean, gaps.
Like you walk in, you glance to see what's open, and then you feel like you need to apologize.
Yeah, oh, sorry. Hey, nice piercing.
Right? Whereas other countries, I don't know, bathroom habits. I know beaches are much freer in Europe, where they might not be nude on the beach, but they might change on the beach, and we would be like, oh, I would be.
Yeah, but you need that Well, and what's funny is, I went to a spa thing. Somebody gave me a gift certificate, and the bathroom, it was like a closet. And you close that door and you were just in the room. And I was almost like, I was off put by just how closed in I was. Because I was like, wow, I'm all alone.
I can't shimmy under this door.
I really couldn't. No, I was trapped.
About that. Yeah. Yep.
Why don't we talk about entertainment?
Yes. The entertainment world is a fun one because once you start thinking about this, there's so many examples of conventional boundaries being pushed. The particular ones that are my favorites are Seinfeld. That whole show is about social boundaries. What should I do? What can I do that nobody's going to stop me from? Oh, the one that speaks to me most is the gym episode with the lady, and they're trying to decide. There's several appropriate gym behaviors. When George uses a public gym shower, also as a bathroom, and I think he's kicked out of the gym.
So he pees in the shower.
He does.
Oh.
And there's another episode where Jerry's curious about a lady and her anatomy, and so Elaine goes and scopes it out of the gym. And I am as much as I flaunt some of the rules out on the gym floor, in the locker room, I am well behaved like a Puritan. So I would be horrified by Elaine's behavior. Like, yes, you wear your towel in the sauna. What? And so all of Seinfeld has these wonderful examples of all these great social conventions, and they are constantly pushing those boundaries. So Seinfeld is Great example of cultural conventions. Mr. Bean is my other favorite.
He's breaking these conventions to 1,000%.
Yes.
And it's that awkward, like, it's going to be embarrassing and bad. Oh, I have such a hard time watching stuff like that.
And my family was watching and they're like, Mom, you're like Mr. Bean.
Oh, no.
I totally get him, man. Like, look, I have some cultural boundaries where I feel like, get over it, people. And I want to get through a crowd. I want to be done with a thing. And through it, I can relate to his struggle with, why are you people always in my way? I have a goal. I adore the episodes where he's trying to engage in a civil social interaction. There's a restaurant where I think he's on a date or he's trying to order steak tartare, but he doesn't really get what it is. And so he tries. It's almost better when he tries. It's terrific. Go enjoy some Mr. Bean and watch all those wonderful social conventions. It's good.
What's cool is how social conventions, how they can change as culture gradually. I think we're seeing a lot of shifting, like swearing, meaning you're unintelligent.
Yes.
And now we've got all these studies that have come out that talk about how people who swear a lot score high on verbal fluency. And I'm like, well, that must explain everything.
Yeah.
Or things like a girl having to wait for a guy to ask her out. Oh, another one was dad's babysitting. You can't see me air quoting. But
yes.
also going along with that, not doing something because of your gender.
Yeah.
Like you can't be a doctor or a fireman or a police officer because you're a girl and you have ovaries. And so that makes it so you can't do the job.
Yeah. Those are no longer, society just works differently now. And so
yeah,
the availability of women is much greater. Having babies doesn't.
That sounds bad.
It does sound weird. Having babies doesn't prevent women from being able to enter the workplace.
Yes. But let's just cover weird conventions. Wearing bathing suits, but not underwear in public.
Yes, some people's underwear are bigger than their swimsuits,
right? And these are all of these. When I read them, I thought, oh yeah, birthday candles. So you're gonna take wax, a waxy thing, jam it into your cake, and light it on fire. It's cool, but it's like, why do we do that? It's kind of weird.
I don't actually know. We did a birthday episode.
I know. I found out that my mother-in-law once put the candles. She whipped the cake out of the oven, jammed the candles in it. By the time she got to the table, the cake was full of wax because they melted into the cake.
Yikes! Like a poke cake with Jell-O, but worse.
Yeah, it was a little waxy. Not talking about sex or bathroom stuff. Yep. We just don't in America. No. We just don't.
And that's one I can logic myself out of. And so as an adult, I might blush now, but I can talk about it.
I'm feeling really awkward. Oh, men can't have handbags.
That's on my list. I'm like, dudes, you can have a handbag now, probably.
You can have a satchel.
Yes.
I don't like
Maybe
the word.
Maybe a messenger bag.
The word purse is one of those words that I really hate. And so I say satchel. My family then uses the P word and it makes me crazy. But yeah.
Mine could not be called a purse, truly. I could fit like 2 bags of groceries in mine.
Yeah, it's a bag. And then the last one, we're going to pretend that we're talking on the phone together. And we've had a very nice conversation. And then you're going to get off first. Yeah. So what do you say to me?
Okay. Talk to you later. Bye.
Yeah. So why do we say okay before we say goodbye?
I have no idea.
And I thought, that's stupid. And then I called my dad and I'm talking to him on the phone and I said, okay, bye.
Yeah. And I am horrified when I talk on the phone for a living. I'm an office manager. And when people are abrupt with me, I'm like, can you believe what they just did? They just hung up.
Yeah. And if you say bye and hang up, I think the okay is our verbal cue to say, I'm going to be getting off now. We're actually done. But yeah, okay, bye.
Yeah, it can't be just bye. Nope. Or heaven forbid we conclude our business and I say, okay, I'll get back to you. And they just hang up because they're done with me. I've had that happen too. And I'm like, oh, we are clearly not bros.
We're done.
It's not somebody I wanted to be bros with. I'm never going to talk to them after that business that we will conclude in an email later.
It's weird.
Yeah.
America, we don't know what we're doing over here.
No.
All right. Well, please come visit us at brainjunkpodcast.com. we're going to have, well, I don't have a huge number of pictures. I do have a video.
I've got the MTA pictures.
Oh,
and
that's-
you can decide what the guy is doing with his hands. in
Yes,
his
that's
lap.
right. Weird hands in lap. Okay, so we've got those pictures. Decipher those. For this and other episodes, look for Brain Junk wherever you find your podcasts. And we are now on Spotify.
Woo-woo.
That took forever, but we're
Yeah.
here. And please don't forget to like and subscribe wherever you listen.
We tweet at MyBrainJunk, and you can also find us on Facebook and Instagram at BrainJunk Podcast. Email us at brainjunkpodcast@gmail.com with your questions and episode ideas. Trace and I will catch you next time when we share more of everything you never knew you wanted to know, and I guarantee you will not be bored.
Okay, bye.
Bye.